What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and we're gonna dive deep into the Summer Wells case and also the missing little boy out of Idaho. Um, I believe his name is Michael Vaughn, 5-year old, another 5-year old that went missing. I'm so sick and tired of these kids turning up missing. Like, what is going on? Like, y'all parents, and I'm going to say the parents need to be watching their children. You got to be very cautious. Nowadays, the world is sick. It's evil people out here. Regardless if it's the parents or anybody else, there's evil people out here. Y'all need to watch these kids a lot closer. You know what I'm saying? I don't just let my children, and I have 4 of them. I don't just let them run off anywhere. Or, I keep locks on things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, Jesus Christ, I'm just so sick and tired of these missing kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's scary because I have a 3-year-old who's going to be 4, and she definitely likes to explore. You know what I'm saying? She likes to run around, but they know their boundaries, especially if you already taught them, their boundaries and not to go here and not to go there. But one thing that I've been seeing lately where I live at is a very dangerous city. Obviously, most of you should know about Chicago. I live in Chicago, and it's a very dangerous city. Certain parts, I'm not going to say the whole city of Chicago, but if you know, my thing with these parents out here in Chicago, if you know what our city is up against and how these kids have been, turning up missing, you got kids turning up dead in the streets because of a shootout and stuff like that. Keep your child from outside in the neighborhood. There's other places you can go. There's a shitload of places. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always go to this nice gym in the very nice suburban wealthy part of Chicago, and it's really nice. I always keep up with my kids as well, so I'm not about to just let them out of my sight. I see parents let their kids go outside in the hood and then go right in the house. Like, how are you gonna keep an eye out on your child? How you gonna know? And then as soon as something happens to your child, it's, oh my God, I should have stayed outside with them. I didn't know. No, you knew. You knew. Anyway, enough with the ranting. Let's get into the Summer Wells case. So it's almost about to be 2 months that Summer Wells has been missing. Summer Wells went missing on June the 15th, I believe, from her home. According to her parents, she was out planting flowers and suddenly vanished. There's so much that's been going on with this case ever since. And I know I haven't did an update in like 2 or 3 weeks. So like I told you guys, I've been sitting back and listening. Now, I have so the channels that I told you guys to follow, I apologize about that because there are certain things that's been happening, a lot of drama and carrying on and stuff like that. One of the channels, as you guys know, Mountain Girl, I guess she put out some false information And a lot of people started believing that's what happened, and a lot of people got mad. Some people unfollowed her. A lot of people brought it to other channels and started talking about her. And she ended up making a video and apologizing and trying to clear the air. And also, I believe I talked about a psychic that she's following, that supposedly is credible, but all the stuff that's been going on with the psychic stuff, I don't trust it at this point. So I don't want to say she's credible because there's still no leads to Summer. Um Obviously, if you call yourself a psychic, and I'm not trying to talk down about anybody because people may have psychic abilities, honestly, but me personally, I don't really too much deal, like, you know what I'm saying, deal with stuff like that. So I was just going according to what Mountain Girl was saying on her YouTube when she was talking about how there's a psychic by the name of Juanita who's going to be on the case, and the police was allowing her to be on the case and help find Summer, but there's still no leads. And from what I'm seeing, I don't even know how long Juanita has been out in Tennessee, but she kept asking for donations to help her to stay. But now things have just went silent and we haven't heard anything whatsoever. So just be wary of people like that. It's a lot of people that claim to be psychic and then they ask for donations and stuff like that, because there was a few people that was exposed as so-called psychics. So you just have to be wary of people that ask for donations and stuff and money, in the name of a missing child. It's people out here, and their motive is to get vulnerable people to donate to them and send them money so they can go run off with it somewhere and do something else with it. So that's why, me personally, I keep my money in my pockets, in my account, because I don't have money like that anyway, and I'm not about to sit up here and be donating to people that means to, like, really take advantage of other people just because they know that these people want to find this little girl. So it's like, just try to keep your money to yourself. And if you want to donate to people that's psychics or whatever, do what you want to do with your money. But I just feel like you should be very careful nowadays, because a lot of people have different intentions, and their intentions is really to not find Summer, is to make a profit off of vulnerable people. So I'm just gonna leave that right there. Okay, like I said, we haven't heard any leads about Summer so far. Um, One thing I could say about Mountain Girl that's kind of weird to me is how I don't know why, I just feel like she's sucking the life out of this Juanita lady, and she claims that she doesn't even know her personally. I understand that she's in support of this lady, but I don't know nobody else that's like overly supportive to the point where it's so weird. So, other than that, I still been following Mountain Girl, only because there are certain things that she pulls up that a lot of other people can't, pull up. And she dives deep into the case and finds certain things. While I don't appreciate people saying things like, I don't appreciate some of these YouTubers saying things like, oh, they know where Summer is and stuff like that, or they have a clue where Summer may be and there's a body found and all this, because you're getting a lot of people worked up, and a lot of people, you know, are on the edge right now. So it's certain things that you can't say, you know. Other than that, I'm still following her for the time being. Um, there's another YouTuber I follow by the name of Buchanan or whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't even know why I follow him. I think I just like his personality, because he reminds me of me when I get on camera. That's about it. Other than that, he talks about the case just as well as anybody else. Nobody really has leads, or nobody knows where Summer is. So, me personally, I follow YouTubers according to their personality and how they word how they record and stuff like that. I don't really too much go based off, I don't know, certain things within the case like that. Also, like I said, what matters to me is if you can pull up certain things that I personally can't see. Like Mountain Girl, I'm not on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook account. So she pulls up things from Facebook that a lot of us may be interested in. And obviously, that's what I want to see. Now, let's get into the Summer Wells case. So, as you guys know, lately Dawn has been being interviewed by different YouTubers. Um, I have also listened to the interview with his, I believe, stepsister on Unmasked, and that was a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I talked about that already, but that interview was very deep. Um, Don had just did an interview with Chris McDonough. I don't know how to say his last name. The interview room. He did an interview with him a few days ago. And the interview was very telling. And I say that because Don, I just feel like he's telling on himself. I really feel like he's telling on himself. I did see the interview with Candace as well. And I don't know, she wasn't as weird in her interview as Don was. So with Don, it was like anytime Chris would talk about something totally different, rather that's his work or what do he feel like really happened to Summer, um you can hear the excitement in his voice as the subject is being changed to something totally different. So now it's like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and talk about this. Huge relief, don't gotta talk about Summer right now. But every time when Chris would bring up something about Summer, you can hear the devastation in Don's voice. It's as if it's not like a devastation like, oh man, my baby girl. Because honestly, if it was like that, he would have been saying, you know what, I just want to find my daughter. Anybody out there has any leads, anything, he would have been saying that. But anytime, just think about it, anytime Chris, and you go back and look at the interview, listen to the interview if you want to, and you can hear it. Anytime Chris brings up something about Don's daughter, Summer, it's like he sounds devastated as if that's not what he wants to talk about. It's like a guilty type of devastation, you know, like I can hear like the nervousness in his voice, and then he hurries up and automatically starts talking about somebody else. Like the subject from Summer would switch so fast that I would forget that we even talked about Summer. No offense, but I'm just saying, like, the things that he was talking about was like somewhat irrelevant. There was things that we needed to hear, and then there was things that was extremely irrelevant. Obviously, Don feels like everybody is out for revenge on him. Um, And with that being said, the revenge is to take Summer. I mean, he went from saying that he believes that the people, somebody that was lurking around the neighborhood probably took her. Then he said that the guy that he fired from his job that had a yellow truck took her. Then he said something about Hunter and Allison taking her. Um, he just kept flipping it so many times. Like, dude, how many people do you think really took Summer? Like, how many people do you really think went and took Summer? You know what I'm saying? He says he doesn't believe that Candace had anything to do with Summer's disappearance. He doesn't feel like it was an accident, and Candace is trying to cover it up because Candace would never lie to him. He also said uh, him and the grandmother had just him and Candace's mom. Everybody calls her Grandis, so we're gonna call her Grandis. Um, had just became, pretty much cool on the same page as one another. He said that she left and went to another state, I guess Wisconsin, to go get her foot surgery or something like that. I don't know. He said that her leg has been messed up, so it's nothing new. Um, I'm trying to recap because I seen its interview a few days ago, so I can't remember every single thing, but I just know for a fact that it was very weird. Oh, matter of fact, I had seen the vigil. Now I did fall asleep on some of it, but I did see the part where everybody was talking about how Don looked like a demon at the vigil, and he looked as if he didn't even want to be there. Um, I never really, I think I did pay attention to a little bit of Candace at the vigil, and honestly, Candace's personality is starting to change a little bit for me. I feel like she's getting a little closer to being fed up and just saying what happened. I just feel like she can't hold on any longer. That's the vibe that I get from her. I definitely am starting to feel like Don was heavily involved in Summer's disappearance because of his actions and the things that he say, the way he's been acting is pretty obvious. Um, I believe that Candace is somewhat involved as well, but I just the vibe that I'm starting to get from Candace right now is the simple fact that she's to the point where she's getting ready to rat somebody out, rather it's herself or rather it's Don. I just feel the I just feel like she can't hold on any longer. You know, they now Don, on the other hand, I feel like he's just full of guilt. I don't think that he wants Summer found. Um, and anytime a person starts to talk to him about Summer, it's like that's not really what he wants to discuss. So things in the interview, excuse me, things in the interview and things at the vigil was very telling to me. Also, Don has been one thing that I can say, and this is from a lot of other parents that reported their children missing, and then it came out that it was the parents that did it. This is one sign for me that either both of them is guilty or one of them is guilty. Anytime they start having these different interviews and stuff and ranting on Facebook and stuff about the disappearance of their child, or just letting anybody interview them and stuff like that, that is a sign, that that's a sign of guilt. It's a sign of guilt, and it's a sign that one or both had something to do with Summer Wells' disappearance. I'm very anxious to know, since the boys have been gone, have the boys um, told any info to law enforcement, or Grandis? I really want to know, has, ever since she's been gone for her so-called foot or leg or whatever you want to call it, did she say anything? Does she have any involvement? My thing is, why would law enforcement allow her to leave? I mean, I understand she might have had a schedule set up for her foot and stuff like that, but if my granddaughter is missing and I want her found, there is no way I'm leaving. Your foot has been good all this time. The you don't went to the lake the day that Summer disappeared. You don't went to the grocery store. You don't went all around town with your daughter. And now it's like everybody's supposed to have some type of sympathy about her foot. Well, if that was the case, you would never went here, there, and everywhere the day that your granddaughter disappeared if your foot was really messed up. So that's kind of weird to me. And honestly, sorry about the light. Honestly, any other grandparent that loves their grandchild dearly would not leave. I don't care if you needed your foot surgery or whatever you want to call it, or you had to go to the foot doctor. If that was the case, you should have scheduled something in the state of Tennessee instead of going all the way across the damn country to Wisconsin. That just doesn't make sense to me. So that part right there really aggravates me. And then everybody is stuck on this Jose guy. Me personally, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't feel like this Jose guy had anything to do with Summer's disappearance, because whatever him and Candace and Allison had going on, that was between them, and then Don ended up fighting him and stuff like that. That was between them, but I don't feel like Summer came in the midst of that. You know what I'm saying? If obviously he had to get dropped off, what the hell would he come back for? I don't know. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. But I'm just saying, I just get the feeling that he had nothing to do with it. There's a possibility he did out of, you know, revenge, and obviously because he's been around the kids and he's been in the house, so he knows the layout and stuff like that. Um, I don't know. It's just like Don wants to blame everybody else but himself and Candace. If you guys were very neglectful as to Summer, and the boys that day, you should just at least admit it. You know what I'm saying? They could have just, you know what I'm saying, just to clear the air. You know what, me and Candace were wrong. We actually accidentally, I didn't really go to work like I said I did. We ended up running to the store or something like that. Candace, we left Summer outside to play, and we said we would be back. And when we came back, she was gone. Like, if you were very neglectful of your child, you should say that. But the fact that you feel like you weren't neglectful and you guys feel like you didn't have anything to do with her disappearance or her being missing or anything like that is driving a lot of people nuts. And also the simple fact that you keep talking about everybody else that possibly took her, and it's obvious, Don, that you have some type of involvement. You and Candace. Rather you guys killed Summer, or rather you guys were just neglectful that day, and what happened was she ended up missing because she wasn't being watched. Now, we could be wrong that, we could be wrong about the parents killing her, their own child. We could be wrong about it. And it very well could have happened a whole nother different way. They probably just left her at the house by herself or something that day. And there was some creepy pedophile watching her and snatched her up. It could be either one, but I just don't feel like that's really the case. And why I feel like that is because if you think about it, the stories are conflicting stories. Nobody is saying the same exact thing. One minute Don was at work, the next minute he wasn't at work. One minute the boys were with him, the next minute the boys weren't with him. One minute the dogs are all in front of the house, the next minute the dogs so suddenly wasn't there at all. Like, what is really going on? So one minute Hunter is a good person, the next minute Hunter is a horrible person and he's a liar. Now I don't know. I don't get it. And I'm going to continue following up on this case and watching what's been going on, because I feel like very soon one of them is going to slip up, and I really feel like it's going to be Candace. I feel like something is going to show and be revealed very soon. Another thing that alarms me is, I'm not saying that they can't watch any of the videos on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, but they have been watching. Candace and Don definitely have been watching. All of the YouTubers talk about Summer and stuff like that. And I really feel like Summer's body has been placed many different places. Like, I don't feel like it's been in the same spot. I feel like it's been moved. Another alarming thing is the yellow truck that people have seen in the area speeding past the same exact day that Summer went missing, and also after Summer went missing. I don't know, it's really awkward and it's very weird, because Don talked about that yellow truck speeding past while they were out trying to search for Summer, and that the officer on the scene said that he couldn't go and go and figure out where the truck was going or pull the truck over because he was called to a crime scene. That sounds very fucking stupid. That just sounds very stupid to me. There was ways around it, and especially if you law enforcement, you can actually call for backup, and you could have did something about that. The weirdest part about it is people said that they saw that same yellow truck. They saw that same yellow truck at the Wells's house when Candace was being interviewed by Chris McDonough. That they saw the yellow truck in the background of the interview. So, who was that? That yellow truck, whoever was driving it, or whoever knows that person, they need to be questioned. And they need to try to figure out where that yellow truck is or where it was headed. I don't know what's going on with the yellow truck situation, but that part is very weird. So other than that, I'm going to stay updated with this case. Rather you hear from me a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we're going to keep following this case to see any leads and what's been going on. And I just feel like somebody's gonna start talking real soon. Somebody's gonna start talking. I pray that Summer is found really soon, because this it's about to go on 2 months that she's been missing. And I hope that we don't get to that 2 month mark. And I just hope that before that 2 month mark, they find her. There's another boy by the name of Michael Vaughn, 5 years old, who's missing out of the Fruitland area. Oh, excuse me, in Idaho. There's not really much to this story, but from what I've heard, the mom was at work and the dad was home, and he was changing the younger siblings' pamper, and little Michael, I guess, went outside wandering around through the neighborhood. A few neighbors have reportedly saw him walking down the street, and he went up to their doors, rang the doorbell, and said he liked to play or something like that. Something. This story is very awkward, and I believe it's more to it. Of course, the first thing that everybody is going to suspect is the parents did it. But I believe that it's been, if I'm not mistaken, 2 weeks now that Michael Vaughn has been missing. I have to look more into it, but I think it's been 2 weeks since he's been missing. One thing I can say about law enforcement in the Fruitland area is they are on it. They're on it, and I can honestly say they're 100% better than TBI and TPI. They definitely are on it. They are making sure that they search everywhere they can think of, and they've been having press conferences about Michael Vaughn, and they want to refrain from putting any information on social media networks, because they don't want anybody to try accusing the parents. I'm not sure if the parents are on Facebook or any social media networks, but I believe that they probably kept them away from it because there's not much information on this case. But this case is starting to blow up as well, just as well as the Summer Wells' case. I definitely believe that somebody did something to him. I really don't want to jump the gun, but my honest opinion is I believe that the father did something to Michael Vaughn. I definitely believe so.